Welcome to the Black Liberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renee Jordan. This podcast is a accumulation of Dr. Jordan's dissertation work and her passion for empowering Latinas, Afro-Latinas, Black women, and girls to navigate the academic and professional worlds with confidence and success. Whether you're a mother or guardian guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, an undergrad or grad student, someone working on a dissertation or thesis, or simply looking to carve out your niche in the career landscape, this podcast is for you. Each episode, Dr. Jordan shares her story, offers invaluable advice, and provides practical coaching to help you thrive in school, work, and beyond. Join our community on patreon.com/Black Liberation Tech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll gain exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. You're also welcome to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, or Black Lib Tech on X, formerly known as Twitter. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventure in Inglés o Español. Tune in, get inspired, and let's embark on this journey together. Welcome to Black Liberation.Tech, where your success story begins. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Black Liberation.Tech podcast. I am your host, Dr. Renee Jordan, and today's topic is finishing at the starting point. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get started by reading a blog post that is from February 12th, 2018. Once again, it does involve text messages between one of my nieces and myself. So here is the blog post, finishing at the starting point. The spring semester is underway. Here's a quick note on the abstracts that my niece said that I could share. Me, good morning. I just wanted to check in with you. How are you doing? Niece, good morning. And I am good. Starting on this biology lab report. How about you? Me, I'm good. I'm reading/listening to schoolwork. Niece, the abstract is kind of throwing me off, but it's not hard. And oh, which class? Me, do the report and then go back and do the abstract. The abstract is a short summary. Before you can summarize, you need to get the big picture. Program evaluation/institutional research. I'm reading/listening to Siri read about research on faculty/professors. Niece, yes, thank you. Me, you're welcome. Although the abstract is the first section of your work that your audience reads, you may find it helpful to make it the last part that you write. So when I say finishing at the starting point, the abstract, when you are writing a longer paper, provides a summary to the reader as far as what to expect. Now, for those who are doing literature reviews, those who are doing annotated bibliographies, those who are essentially looking for sources for their work, they are going to review the abstract to get an idea about what your work is all about. And that abstract will help them determine whether or not they actually want to read the entire article. So it's important to capture the audience, but in your capturing of the audience, you want to make sure that you're giving them an accurate depiction as far as what to expect. So if you're working on a lab report, a thesis, a dissertation, something that involves the analysis of data, you might find it helpful to revisit your abstract. Yes, you can start off with an abstract that allows you to anticipate what you plan on covering in your longer paper. However, as you move along, as you move forward, as you complete your work, you will need to update it based on what actually happens in your lab results, your data analysis, and your study. Additionally, you'll want to update it to include information that covers what you talk about in your discussion. So if you're getting ready for a proposal, the proposal will talk about the issue at hand or the problem. It will allow you to uncover what questions you hope to answer. and talk about what you plan to do in order to get to the answers based upon the methods of analysis that you plan on conducting in order to analyze your data. Now, for those of you who are writing a very long paper, it is okay to go out of order. What do you mean it's okay to go out of order? It's okay to start off with a literature review. That way you can determine where are the holes in the research that you actually want to investigate further. Yes, there has been work done on X, Y, and Z, but did they take a look at it at this angle? Based upon what you read and find in the literature, has the work already been done? That's something that you want to ask. So if the work has been done, are you interested in doing a replication study where you will repeat the work of others in order to find out if you come up with the same results, similar results, or different results based upon perhaps a different setting? Maybe one study was completed with public schools in the city of Washington, D.C., Atlanta, Chicago, etc. But you want to find out what happens if you were to repeat the study in a rural town. Now, that's something that would be worth investigating in order to bring more light to that particular subject matter and the issue at hand. You can also repeat a study and use a different approach in your analysis. So yes, this is the data that was uncovered. However, if you take a look at it using different methods of analysis, you may be able to get a different perspective on the same information. So just to bring it back, one of the first steps you might want to do if you're writing a long paper is to start off with a literature review. So review the literature, put in those key terms, put in the topic areas, look around within your discipline as well as other disciplines to see how others have approached the issue, dissected the issue, interrogated the issue, see how others approach the issue in order to find out what happens under different circumstances, what happens as it relates to the perspectives of others, what happens when you use different interventions, what happens when explored. Something else that you might want to take a look at before completing your abstract are the different methods that others have used to explore a particular issue or problem. What questions did they raise and how did they go about exploring their questions with different methods of data collection as well as different methods of data analysis? So what did they do in order to collect their data? Are you interested in doing something similar? Are you interested in a different sample altogether? Did you find something in their results that made you say, I wonder what would happen if, and as a result, you dig deeper into an exploration based upon what was revealed, uncovered, or talked about in someone else's work. Now, what I'm not going to do is sit here and read my dissertation. I will encourage you to go ahead and take a look at it. However, based upon the literature I reviewed, I decided that it was worth taking a look at a specific group of women, Latinas, Afro-Latinas, and Black women who were in tech-saturated industries. And I also decided to take a look at what they were doing based upon an African philosophy. This combination was not something that was common in the ICT, information and communication technologies field in which I am a part of. And as a result, I was able to add to the scholarship on digital literacies and technology skill development with this particular group in mind. My literature review was something that I actually did over the course of at least 5 years while I was in school, and it continued even after I started my actual project. Yes, I submitted a proposal, and I needed to update that proposal based upon the revisions that were requested and based upon what else I found as a result of doing the work. I needed to dig deeper to see what else was out there in order to help inform my study. As far as my methodology was concerned, that was something that I tinkered with once again, over the course of 5 years of being in school, in qualitative research classes, as well as while I did different proposals for the work that I was doing as a graduate research assistant. What tools was I using? I took a look at ethnography. That's what I came in wanting to do, but I realized that I would not have the time to dedicate to do a full ethnographic study. And as a result, I needed to find a tool that would work within my time constraints, yet still allow me to dig deep enough in order to provide a rich description of the phenomenon that I was observing. And as a result, I landed on doing a case study, a holistic case study. And as a result, I was limiting the parameters of my study to those who were a part of the study at the time of the study, as opposed to trying to speak to an entire culture or group over an extended period of time. I was limiting it to those who were participating in the group for the set period of time of the study. Now, the only reason I was able to settle on that was because I read about what it was that I wanted to do, spoke with my advisors, found out and determined that I just didn't have the time left remaining in my program in order to do what I thought I wanted to do when I started. However, because I explored different methods of data collection and different methods of data analysis, I was able to think about what tools would allow me to get a rich study, a rich experience, rich data, and yet fit within my time constraints. So the literature review and the methodology were under constant revision as I move forward. Although I selected case study as my method of data analysis, I still needed to select other methods of analysis that I would use as tools within the case study to analyze the data. And those methods included doddering as well as poetic transcription. These methods of analysis were tools that I came across as a result of engaging in my qualitative research class, as well as attending the prospectus or dissertation proposals of others who were in the College of Education. By exposing myself to different methods of analysis, different methodologies, different methods of data collection, I was able to determine what I wanted to do for myself, and I was able to articulate why I wanted to use those tools. And all of that had to also go into the actual writing portion of my chapter 3. My literature review was under constant revision, and part of that revision included adding work that was done as it related to Latinas specifically. Initially, I wanted to look at Black women in tech only. However, I expanded my work to include Latinas as a result of the school population that I was interested in working with. 40% of the population were of Hispanic descent, and 45% of the population were of African American descent. So when I was thinking about working with that school in particular, there was no way that I could ignore the fact that those who were making up the majority of the school included those who were also of Hispanic descent. And specifically, I was interested in getting to know more about how Latinas in particular learned technology and engaged their digital literacies. So in short, my literature review was under constant revision because I was reading more about what was happening or what was already known in the field, as well as related fields as it related to technology skill development and digital literacies. I also had to expand my literature review to include what was known not only about Black women, but also Latinas. The expansion of my literature review allowed me to articulate even more so the need for the study because I was able to get a better view of what was happening regarding these populations as it related to the development of digital literacies as well as technology skills. The other portion of my dissertation that was also under constant revision was the introduction. Believe it or not, getting to the point is something that needs to take place as quickly as possible in order to inform your audience audience of the need for the study, what your research question entails, the background that is important to note as it relates to the issues at hand and why you want to do the work, and also let them know how you plan to move forward with the study. Now, the reason the introduction had to go under constant revision, it was revised once for the prospectus to say, oh, this is what I plan to do. And then it had to be revised again after I completed the study, and it had to include what I actually ended up doing. The same went for my chapter 3. It had to be updated in order to include what I actually did in terms of data collection and data analysis. Now, with all of these moving pieces, the abstract moves as well. So you have to constantly revisit your abstract as you update your paper in order to make sure that it's providing an accurate depiction to your audience of what to expect as it relates to your work. So instead of thinking of an abstract as something that's finite, something that's one and done, something that's written in stone or concrete, think of it as a working document, something that's going to be adjusted based upon what happens in the larger paper. With all of that being said, I want to encourage you to work on your larger paper before constructing your abstract. And while you work on your larger paper, make updates to your abstract based upon what is happening at the time with your work. This way, you can give your audience an accurate depiction of what to expect. This also means that your proposal abstract will look different from your actual final work abstract for those of you who have to provide a proposal before you do your research study. Your final abstract will include all the updates that you've made, and it will be written so that people will know this is what happened as opposed to what you plan on doing. Writing abstracts is something that is a good skill to develop. It's also something that will help you when you are doing proposals for conferences, as well as proposals for papers, as well as proposals for research, as well as proposals for grant applications. The abstract is a tool and a resource for both you and the reader. It is the short version of what is happening in your larger work, but it shouldn't be short just in the length. It should be concise. It should get to the point, and it should be rich and provide a good picture of what your work is actually about. So once again, I want to encourage you to treat your abstract and your paper like a working, living document, not something that's stagnant, not something that's set in stone, not something that's limited and frozen in time, but something that you can go back to constantly in order to update based upon what's happening in your larger work. With your literature review, continue to review the literature as you work on your work in order to get a bigger idea of what's happening. And then think about how you can talk about those different writings in your literature review in a way that explains why your work is important. Where are the holes? Where are the gaps? Where are the needs? Yes, this study covered this. This other study covered that. Where do you fit in the bigger picture? Why is your work important? It should tell a story of what has happened, a story of what others have said, a story of how others have explored and developed this particular issue, this particular field, the particular intervention, the particular topic, but also tell the story of where you need to fill in the gaps and why. As it relates to your chapter 3, so your methodology, you need to be able to share what you plan to do in terms of data collection, what you plan to do in terms of data analysis, how you are going to capture that information, save it, as well as methods of how you will address the validity and reliability of your data and any ethical concerns that need to be addressed when it relates to your data collection and your data analysis analysis. All of these small things will end up adding up to what your abstract will cover. No, you can't put it all in there, but you need to have a better idea of what you plan to do or what you have done in order to craft a well-written, concise abstract. Thank you for tuning in to the BlackLiberation.Tech podcast, brought to you by Jordan Nuance LLC and hosted by Dr. Renee Jordan. We hope today's episode has inspired you and provided valuable insights to help you navigate your academic and professional journey with confidence and success. Remember to like, subscribe, and share, as well as rate and review the podcast to help it become more discoverable. Whether you're guiding a child through grades 6 through 12, tackling undergraduate or graduate studies, working on a dissertation or thesis, or exploring your career options, this podcast is here to support you every step of the way. Join our community on patreon.com/BlackLiberationTech and become a member for as low as $5 per month. As a member, you'll enjoy exclusive access to live recordings, impromptu academic and career coaching, and a network of like-minded individuals committed to mutual support and success. Don't forget to follow Black Liberation Tech on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and LinkedIn, or Black Lib Tech on X, formerly known as Twitter. Visit black-liberation.tech for even more information on Dr. Jordan's adventures, available in both English and Spanish. Stay inspired, stay empowered, and keep moving forward. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.